welcome to the series where we answer your most frequently asked questions. Okay, so I have a challenge for you because this is a frequently asked question. Can you describe power fundamentals in 60 seconds?
All right, here goes. Power fundamentals is part of AzTech International University. It starts with, not shown here, is discovery, where we'll do a knowledge gap assessment of the entire team of learners. Then we do what is EV, where we cover some very basic terminology and some metrics and such data elements. We talk about risk management, which we think is fundamental to EV. Then we go through these 12 modules, basically baseline, how to baseline a program, establish your cost schedule and technical baseline, track performance, import or collect actuals. We have a planning for non-planners workshop. We cover how to do forecasts or estimates to complete, variance analysis, baseline changes, how to write a good variance analysis report. We look at data and metrics and reporting, and then we talk about surveillance and compliance for keeping a healthy system. And finally, we end with the awesome analyst workshop with tips, tricks, and traps to become an awesome analyst.
Well done. What's the thread throughout Power Fundamentals?
So the thread, I would say, is there's a few, right? One of them is going to be the idea that project management and earned value are part of risk management, right? We're constantly looking at ways to mitigate cost, schedule, and technical risks, and we're looking for opportunities for cost, schedule, and technical. So that's one thread. Another one is the idea that we're constantly gambling or betting on outcomes in project management. So we try to really instill that. We have got a couple of fun games where we actually introduce the element of gambling or betting in project management to keep it interesting. And then I think maybe the third thread would be the idea that you can have some fun with earned value, right? I mean, it can be a dry topic, let's face it, but once you learn the terms and you can use them effectively, work with the team to increase everybody's knowledge, I think there's a lot of room for one, career growth, and using the power of curiosity to learn even more. So constantly learning, and I hope that we would instill in people the love of earned value as something to learn and master.
For which roles is Power Fundamentals actually designed for?
Okay, so it's really for the whole spectrum of roles in the earned value management system. So you might have different names in your company, but we're going to be talking about the program manager, project manager, control account managers, finance, business, project controls, analysts, those folks, scheduling or planning or scheduling professionals, supply chain or purchasing folks as well, and sometimes folks that are involved with, say, material management or hardware. That's another type. So basically, all of those key roles that you would expect to have on a project, we invite them all to the training. We think it's the mixed bag of different role types really enhances the learning, and we do role playing as well during the different core modules and workshops. We'll do some role playing. It's very intentional because it gets you out of your comfort zone and helps you see the work or the problems from another person's eyes. So we really encourage that.
Does this still work if I have, let's say, just a very specific group of CAMs and I just want them to go through it?
Yeah, absolutely. If you have a group of CAMs that are on the same team and or even if they're on different programs, if it were only CAMs, the nice thing about that, I will say, even as much as it's really great to have a mixed team of roles and skill types, CAMs have their own unique take on things, and I think it's a really good opportunity to say some behind the scenes tips, tricks, and traps that CAMs encounter, some of the challenges and frustrations that CAMs encounter, because let's face it, sometimes being a CAM is a tough role. And it's tough in many ways. You're pulled in many directions. You've got different priorities, and you sometimes have to make EV important for different days of the month when we really need your input. So I think it can make for a really interesting CAM only training. So we can work that way, or can also work with a mixed program team as well.
What is available within AzTech International University for somebody, or maybe a team of people, who are being onboarded and know nothing about EV?
Okay, that's a very good question, because these days, with baby boomers retiring and the turnover that exists in our industry, and just the fact that we have new hires coming in, it's important to get those folks trained up. So certainly the Power Fundamentals is a key set of courses and modules and workshops that we highly recommend. But we do have a module we call Intro to EV. The subtitle is A Tale of Two Projects. So we have a little fun with this one. What we did is we said, imagine two project program managers. We've got Ethan and Evelyn, and they both have a certain amount of knowledge, but one of them is going to manage a project using EV and the other one is not. So what you get to do is walk through this story and see some different techniques that are used, some things that work and don't work, and you get a chance to get exposed to some basic terminology, basic formulas, and basic concepts through the course of this story. The cool thing about this, what I think is really unique, is that you can do this on your own. So I wouldn't call this e-learning for sure, because a new person can just walk through this on their own.
Yeah, I recall that's probably a sort of like a 1 hour to 90-minute read ahead, and then you sort of schedule then your mentoring, which is sort of like another 45 minutes afterwards.
Right, because I think the important thing with that kind of learning is that there's a certain self-paced element to it, but it's pretty quick. So we're talking about an hour and a half. They can slowly walk through at their own pace. They can read through it, go backwards, go forward, double check their knowledge, look at the quiz questions, go backward and understand what they might have gotten wrong. And it lets you just sort of go at your own pace. And then the debrief is the important part, again, to lock into learning. It makes, because remember, what we're trying to do with AIU is make EV sticky. We want the terms and concepts to be as sticky as possible so you remember them later. So that debrief portion at the end of it is really important. It's more of a mentor moment, if you will, because you're talking to someone who knows EV, and you're able to ask any questions that you had while you were looking through it, anything that puzzled you, and maybe you have questions about how that's used at the company and so forth.
Thank you, Louis. For more answers to your questions, please visit our website, goaztech.com.